Hi students, welcome to our channel Vagdevi IIT Foundation, IIT JEE Mains and NEET. This is Pratap Naidu, Senior Faculty in Physics for IIT JEE and NEET. Now our video is Kinematics Part 4. Kinematics Part 4. So in this video, I am going to clear if there are any misconceptions regarding this chapter, kinematics. Sometimes the problems might not seem that much big, but even small problems, if we do not rectify in the initial stages itself, they leads to confusion, and as the confusion grows, it would not be any good for us. So here in this chapter, what is kinematics? Kinematics, it is having different names. For school students, they are very familiar with this word kinematics, but students when they enter +1 or 11th class or intermediate known in Andhra Pradesh and Telangana, or PU 1 in Karnataka, for such students, they don't use this name kinematics, because in NCERT kinematics chapter, it is divided into two parts. One is known as motion in a straight line, and the second one, it is a motion in a plane. So kinematics is divided into two parts. One is motion in a straight line, other one is motion in a plane. In some books, this is also mentioned as one-dimensional motion, or it can be written as 1D motion. Okay, and here this is also known as two-dimensional motion, can be written as a 2D motion. So this motion in a straight line deals with the motion of bodies only, and that motion in a plane also deals with motion of bodies only. So and what is the difference between them here? See, let us consider here again this part, it is having two types of motion. Two types. It is divided again into two types. One is a horizontal straight line, and the other one is a vertical straight line. Okay, horizontal straight line motion and vertical straight line motion. So let us first discuss about this one. What is horizontal straight line motion? So here on the ground, it describes the motion of bodies which are moving on the ground in a straight line. See here, let us consider this is x-axis. So this is origin. Let us take this one as origin. This is the positive x direction. This is negative x direction. See here. So if the bodies move in this direction, they are moving along positive x direction. If they move in this direction, they are moving along negative x direction. Bodies can move in both directions. They can move like this in this direction, or they can move in this direction. Their motion is called as one-dimensional motion. Their motion is called as one-dimensional motion. Okay, they move along this straight line, either this direction or this direction. Okay, and next one is the vertical straight line motion. Here, what about the motion of these bodies? Suppose this is ground. If we throw a body in vertically upward direction, what happens if there is no wind? If there are no air currents, or if there is no wind, what happens? The ball moves along this straight line in upward direction and again falls along the same straight line. See, like this, goes up about this line and again falls about the same straight line. But to study its motion, we can draw separate lines, upward motion one line and downward motion separate line here. So for study purpose, for the sake of convenience only, we are drawing two lines, and students, they commit mistake by adding these two lines like this. They think that the body is going like this. No, the body is not going like this. And because you are calculating time for this part of journey and this part of journey, if the body goes like this, you have to consider the time for this part of journey also, which we are not considering. Got it? So for convenience only, we are drawing this line beside this line. Okay, so never draw this one. So what is our assumption here? There are no winds, so that if a body is thrown vertically upwards, it comes back about the same straight line only. See here, how many directions are there? Upward direction is there, downward direction is there. What type of motion is this? Straight line motion or not straight line motion, because the body is moving on one straight line, going up and coming down. So it is also one dimensional motion only. It is also one dimensional motion only. Okay, so both directions are there. So one doubt you may get here, sir, we have chosen origin at this point, really at the midpoint of this line. This is positive x-axis, this is negative x-axis, origin is at the midpoint. Where is the origin in this case? Here we choose origin on the surface of the ground from which the body is projected. Distances are measured. What is origin point? It is a reference point. What is origin point? It is the reference point from where the distances or displacements are measured. So here this one is considered as origin point over here. Okay, so upward direction and negative direction. Here generally, as we are considering here positive x direction, negative x direction as opposite directions, here upward direction is generally taken as plus y axis, and this negative, this is considered as a negative y axis. So upward as positive y and downward as negative y. And here for horizontal motion, the Earth's gravitational force has no impact on the motion of the body, but in this case the body's motion is completely influenced by Earth's gravitational force. So we consider here Earth's gravitational force is considered in this case. So here it is very clear that this motion in a straight line chapter, which is a part of this kinematics, it is having two major sections here. One is the horizontal straight line motion, another one is vertical straight line motion. Got it? So even you can find cases where a body is projected from the top of a tower, not only from the ground, from the top of a tower. See here. Here the body is projected up like this, it goes up and afterwards it falls down. Again, don't try to join the lines here like this, it is a blunder. Never draw. So for the sake of convenience only, we are drawing this line here. Students generally, and you may get doubt, see, if you stand at the center of the top surface of this tower and if you throw the ball, what happens? It goes up and again it has to fall here only, no? So that's why we are asking the person to stand at the edge of this tower and throw here in this direction. It goes up like this and comes down like this. See here, from air he is throwing up and it falls down on the same line here. So there is no problem, I think. So okay, finally the motion is, don't think that the body is going up and going, turning, taking a turn and going down like this. It is a blunder. Actually it is a straight line motion. It goes up and comes down like this. It is a straight line motion. For the sake of convenience, our convenience to study its motion, we have taken this line separately. Actually this line is here only, no? It is going up and coming down like this. We have to draw this line actually here only. But for the sake of convenience, for clarity, to study easily without any confusion, we have taken this line, we have drawn this line here. That's all. So horizontal straight line motion along x-axis and vertical straight line motion along y-axis. So this is one dimensional motion. Got it? Right. So next one is two-dimensional motion. What is a two-dimensional motion? Suppose if a particle moves like this in a straight line and later it moves like this, then what type of motion is this? This is a motion in a plane. See where it is moving? It is moving on the plane of this board. Suppose we consider a body which is moving like this, it is moving on the plane of this board here. It can move like this, it can move like this, it can move like this, it can move like this. So it is moving on the plane. But in previous case, straight line motion means the particle cannot come out of this straight line. It has to move on this straight line only. That is straight line motion. And this is motion in a plane. Suppose if a particle is moving on the circumference of a circle, motion of an electron around the nucleus, or motion of earth around the sun, motion of planets around the sun. Of course, some paths they are not perfect circular paths, they can be elliptical paths. Okay, a particle moving on circular path or a particle moving on elliptical path. So what type of motion is this? This is also motion in a plane only, two-dimensional motion. Okay, if a particle is not moving along one single straight line means it is moving in a plane. Okay, one more thing is the three-dimensional motion. It is just an extension of this two-dimensional motion. So I am not mentioning now. Later I will mention that one also. So here this is the example for two-dimensional motion. Why? Because see here how it is two-dimensional motion. See, if a particle is moving means suppose at this position in which direction the particle moves, in this direction. At this position in which direction it is moving, in this direction. At this position in this direction. At this position in this direction. At this position in this direction. See, we are getting Vishnu chakra here. This is in this direction. See here. A circle is a combination of infinite number of straight lines. If a particle is here means for this instant of journey, for the small instant of journey, we can consider the particle moving on a small straight line. Okay, circle is a combination of infinite number of small straight lines attached closely. Got it? Even this ellipse also. So here, how many straight lines are there? How many straight lines the particle is moving? On infinite number of straight lines in infinite directions. Is it a single straight line? No. Different straight lines. Where it is moving? On this plane of the board it is moving. So it is motion in a plane. If the particle is moving on the ellipse, here also it is in the plane, moving in the plane only. Got it? Okay. Next, one more thing. In this chapter, the most important topic is projectile motion. Suppose if this is ground, what is projectile motion? I will explain you. In my school days, some of our friends, we used to gather at one place on the ground, and some other students, they used to gather at some other place. We used to practice the catches, ball catches. We used to throw the ball from this position, okay, high into the sky. The ball goes like this path, and the guys at this position, they have to catch that one. Again they will throw back like this in this direction. Again we have to catch. Nowadays there are no playgrounds in our schools and students forget how to play games. Okay, so here see what type of motion this one. This is also motion in a plane. How many straight lines are there? See here, and the particle is at this position. Initially we have thrown ball in one direction. We can throw ball in one direction. We cannot bend the ball in this direction. We just throw the ball in one direction and it will take this path. See, initially its direction is like this. At this position, what is the direction of its motion? Like this. At this position, 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 like this. See, its direction is changing. So initially when the particle is at this position, its motion is along this straight line. Here another straight line, here another straight line. Different straight lines means what? Motion along single straight line means it is the motion in a straight line. Different straight lines have come into scenario here. So this is, and where they are moving? They are moving on the plane of this board. So here this is motion in a plane. Sir, here this particle is moving on the plane of the board. Okay, but when you played with your friends, the ball, there is no board. How the ball moves? Yes, the ball is moving in air only. But you can imagine a vertical plane. The ball is moving like this. Okay, just imagine a plane. Suppose if you imagine a plane here, the ball is touching the surface of this board and moving like this. It is not going that way to the other side of the board or to this side of the board, it is going like this. So we can imagine a vertical plane there. Okay, it is not going away, it is going on that vertical plane only, it is not deviating from that vertical plane. So that is also motion in a plane only. The same type of motion you come across in televisions or YouTube channels when rockets are launched, when satellites are mounted on rockets, and when they are launched, what is the path of the rocket? You have observed, you noticed, everybody you know. So it is also, the rocket also goes about along this path only. What type of motion it is called as? It is called as projectile motion. So this motion in a plane, it deals with this one, this projectile motion here. And one thing is, the motion in a plane can be studied using two axes mutually perpendicular coordinate axis. What are the x-axis and y-axis? This is origin. Okay, so we can consider this plane as xy plane. Can consider this plane as xy plane. So this, then how we can study, sir? How we can study using xy plane? Yes, I will tell you. The motion of this body, it is resolved or it is splitted into two directions. One is along x direction, other one is along y direction. X direction and other one is along y direction. Okay, so again we apply what the knowledge we have learned in straight line motion. See here motion is divided along x-axis, here motion is divided along y-axis. We separately deal this one, motion along x-axis we separately deal, and motion along y-axis we separately deal. So that means we are again using the knowledge we gained in motion in a straight line chapter. Got it? Yes. So here the motion in a plane is described or studied with the help of considering mutually perpendicular x and y axis. Okay, that is xy plane. Let us consider a tower. This is ground. See, if we throw a ball in horizontal direction like this, with some velocity, what happens if we throw like this? It goes, it falls down like this. It falls down like this. So this is also motion in a plane only. This is also motion in a plane only. So this chapter predominantly deals about concepts like this projectile motion. Okay, so motion in a plane. So here also we can study using x-axis as well as y-axis. This is minus y, this is plus y, we can take this one as minus y. So this motion of this body can be resolved along positive x-axis and negative y-axis, or we can choose this one as positive y-axis only, no problem. It is our choice. See, for freely falling bodies we generally choose this one as positive y-axis. I will explain you later. Okay, so one thing is, this is x-axis, this is y-axis. Again we are considering xy plane here. So motion in a plane is studied with the help of considering rectangular or Cartesian coordinate system, that is x-axis and y-axis. Circular motion also studied considering two directions. One is known as this one is the tangential direction, this one is the radial direction. Okay, it is also studied under two directions. One is the tangential, other one is radial. You will learn this one in circular motion. Just my intention is to give you clarity that circular motion is also motion in a plane. Got it? And why I have to explain you all these things here? Some standard books which are available in our market, branded books, the chapter heading is like this: motion in a straight line. But while explaining the difference between distance and displacement, what is the example that they are taking here? See, let us consider this point as A, this point as B. If a particle moves like this via point some P, then the length of this path is called as the distance, and the length of this line is called as the displacement. They are telling. Okay, we can find like this. But here, can we consider this example? Why? Because what is the name of our chapter? Motion in a straight line. Is this motion is along a straight line. No, this motion is along a plane. So this example should not be placed in the chapter actually. This is to be covered in this part, motion in a plane. Got it? Yes. And one more thing is, there are problems also regarding that one. Even for velocity and speed also, we took, I also explained using this one. So that's why I am giving you clarity. Even for speed and velocity also, we took this diagram. Okay, actually this example is meant for motion in a plane. Okay, no problem to use this example to differentiate distance and displacement, speed and velocity. There is no problem. But here why I am again stressing is that here you should be clear that the motion of this body is motion in a plane. Our chapter is motion in a straight line. For better understanding purpose only, we have taken this example. Okay, to differentiate distance and displacement, speed and velocity, we have taken this example and we have explained. But actually we can explain this one using a straight line like this. This is origin plus x, this is minus x, 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4, minus 1 minus 2 minus 3 minus 4, minus 1 minus 2 minus 3 minus 4. A particle starts at origin, goes like this, reaches this point number 4, comes back like this. So now what is there? See here, let us define distance. What is the distance? Distance is length of actual path. What is actual path? From here to here and again here to here. So it is length of actual path. It is just a length. Length is not having any directions. It's enough. Then what about the displacement? So this is the starting point. So this is the starting point. Here I have drawn arrow, means actually the body is moving on this line only. For sake of convenience, for visibility, we have taken the arrow marks besides this original axis here. So initial point is this one. Where is final point? See, final point is this one. So this is the, by definition, this is the displacement line. See, displacement is one direction only, no? Here displacement is along one direction. So using this x-axis also we can define distance and displacement. Distance is just the length of actual path the body traveled. See, this dotted line is not the actual path the body traveled. This is not the actual path. The body has not traveled along this path. No? From here, starting its journey from here and ending its journey, it has not taken place. Actually, the body has gone like this, came back like this, sorry, gone like this and came back like this. It is the actual path. So, length of actual path is distance, and the distance between initial point and final point, it gives us displacement, that's all. Okay. So, got it? So, this is the motion in a plane. And one more thing, in numerical examples also we can find a problem like this. A body makes a displacement 3 meters towards east. So this is east, west, south, north. A body makes a displacement of 3 meters towards east and next turns towards north and makes a displacement of 4 meters. Find its displacement. Students used to find the displacement value by using Pythagoras theorem. This is starting point, this is ending point, this is the displacement line. Put an arrow here. This value is 5 using Pythagoras theorem, because this is a right angle triangle. No? Root of 3 square plus 4 square is equal to root of 25 is equal to 5. But here this problem, it should not be there in our chapter, motion in a straight line. If it is 11th class, in 11th class this problem should not be there in motion in a straight line, because this example, see in this example this body is moving in 2 different straight lines, means this is not motion in a straight line, this is motion in a plane. It has to be there in that chapter. Got it? But this problem is presented there in motion in a straight line. So this is one example. Some numerical problems are there regarding circular motion. See here, a body moves from this point A center of the circle O, radius of the circle is R. A point starts its journey at this position A and moves on the circumference of the circle and reaches its diametrical opposite point B. So what is, so if A is one end of this diameter, B is the other end of this diameter, body goes like this and meets here. What is its distance and what is its displacement? This problem is there in motion in a straight line, that is a one-dimensional motion. So you should realize that this problem also should not be there in one-dimensional motion. It should be there in motion in a plane, because this motion corresponds to motion in a plane only. Our chapter motion in a straight line, it strictly deals with bodies moving along a straight line. Okay, in our chapter all the problems, they correspond to bodies moving along a straight line only. See, in yesterday's previous kinematics in part 3, that's why I gave examples to differentiate, to compare distance and displacement. I gave examples taking motion along a straight line only. Now in near future, in next videos also, we will be doing problems where the bodies are moving along a straight line. So there should not be any confusion regarding this one. This problems based on this circle, problems based on this right angle triangle like this. Okay, so they should not be there actually in this chapter. Got it? So clear now? Okay, so for school students, kinematics is popular, and once you enter into college, this kinematics is divided into two parts. One is the motion in a straight line, another one is the motion in a plane. Motion in a straight line means one-dimensional motion. Motion in a plane means two-dimensional motion. Why? Because here the motion can be resolved into two perpendicular directions. One is along x-axis, other one is along y-axis in a plane. Okay, so even in circular motion also, here motion is resolved motion is resolved along tangent, other one is the motion is resolved along radius. See, tangent at this point and radius of the circle, both of them are mutually perpendicular to each other. Okay, for circular motion we consider tangent and radius. For any other general case, we consider x-axis and y-axis. Okay, right. So this is the clarity I want to give you. So here one more thing is to study this motion in a straight line, we don't require the knowledge of vectors. We don't require the knowledge of vectors, because here there are only two directions are there. One direction is considered as positive, other direction is considered as negative. Opposite direction is considered as negative. That's enough. Only two directions are there. So one positive, other negative. But in the case of motion in a plane, see, for example, this one, how many directions are there? Number of directions are there. Number of directions are there. More number of directions are there. In such cases, we cannot take one direction as plus, another direction as minus. If there are two, we can take one plus and minus. So many directions are there. So to deal with them, we should have a sound knowledge in this chapter, vectors. So in +1 or 11th class, after motion in a straight line chapter, before going to motion in a plane or two-dimensional motion, this chapter is included, that is the vectors. So without having knowledge in vectors, this chapter, the learning of this chapter would become difficult. And vectors is very crucial, and not only for this chapter, for entire physics, for mechanics part of physics, and for electromagnetics part of physics, that is nearly 70% of physics syllabus, these vectors play vital role. Okay, 70 to 80% of syllabus in physics depends on vectors. So you should be thorough in vectors. So after completion of this one, we deal with these vectors, then only we can learn this chapter, motion in a plane. Got it, guys? Right. So I think this video is useful to you. Okay, now let us continue with our next videos. Please share this link to your friends and other your relative circle. Okay, tell them to subscribe this channel and follow these videos. Encourage us so we can provide you better quality and with better content. Thank you guys.